Not much else to do. Drill that, put some springs down to that, drill that springs down to there, 2 nuts on for the heat shield, sort this bracket out. That bracket's just a rough one, so I need to bend another one for that. Braze round that once I get to the end again. Spring hook on, spring across. Burn these 2 holes out now, braze round them, weld them collars up, work my way back again. That's what takes up all the time on these jobs, is going from there to there to there to there to there to there. I must have done it about 8 times. I've been backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. I need to take it all off again. Basically work my way back from the back to the front again. I've been from the front to the back yesterday, and I'm going to go all the way back to here again, and then go all the way back to there. Then another 2 goes and I'll have it done. I think another 2 on and offs should all be done. So I might set you. I'm going to have a swig of my brew, and then I might set you up there. We'll see what it looks like pulling it apart. Draw around that with a pen. I'll put you on one of them, you know, like a bit of a speeded up version. Right, I'll have a bit of a brew and I'll come back. Guys, first thing first, let's get rid of that flipping ugly thing. That's moving in that shot, innit? Nice, this bit. Oh, I can't get it right on this, so it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. That's pretty much my plan. If you can see that, I think you can see that, is put that back on there now, draw right round it, possibly do a bit more better shaping of the collar, a little bit better shaping on the collar, just to get it in. Now I can see it, I can do that quite easily. And then we're going to burn an hole out in there, which would just do me gas torch. Get the oxyacetylene out. So if I can get that on the bench and I can get that balanced there, I can draw around the other side of it. I couldn't get to the top side of it there to draw around it, but I've got most of it on. So yeah, that's the plan. That and the other pipe, and then get them brazed together. So burn the hole in it, clean the holes up, grind that so it fits just a bit better. There's just a bit of a gap around that side. The grind that so it fits just a little bit better. Buff them off, buff this off, put it all back together, and then probably get the MIG welder out and just like tack it there, probably tack it there, pull it all off, and braze all the way around it so it's got a nice fillet on it. No, not that one. This one. That's that one. Isn't it? That'll fit there like that. All brazed together nicely. So that's the plan. That is the plan. Nervous bit, that obviously that's why this is taking so flipping long, that bit. I've also got a T-well round them bits. Right, let's stop you, spin you around. Right, put that on there. I'm going to get that propped a little bit in there. I only need a rough mark. Just need it not to be moving about. thought about then sticking your on Instagram, but not going to bother. Just need to get it done. Just need to get it done. I think we'll think about going back onto Instagram Reels as when I've caught up and I know what I'm doing. Hot enough to cause a pool, this is. I've not done this in a while. Honestly, about as amazing as it gets, that. Should we do the other one as well? They're horrible. They are horrible, but as in they're mucky. We're about as quick as that in real time. Job done. Let's go and have a look at them. Whack 2 holes in that bad boy. Still glowing away. I say, yeah, the edges on them are really dirty, aren't they? But you just get the grinder in there. First of all, start off with soft pad, take them lumps off, then get the die grinder out and just buff it off on outside, and then to get die grinder out to get on the inside. Wait for it to cool down first. Well, that's what she looks like. 2 holes burnt in. Top job. There's me fun. Yeah, there's me fun. Top job. Right. I'll get grinder out. I'll set you up on fast speed for the next bit. Right guys, updates. Back in the workshop. Still struggling away. I've now spent one or two too many days on this. I'd probably say I've spent one a week, flipping 1 week too many on this. I probably have, you know. It's no understatement that. But it's there, it's fitted, it's on. It's on. Most of it's joined together. I've done the like secondary tacks of everything and it's all lined back up. There were a bit of an issue with that bottom pipe, that U pipe, where I brazed in the Siamese bits that drop into it, the down pipes. It shrinks it up. The braze will pull the pipe tight on that side, so it shrunk that up and it pulled the megas back in. But I didn't weld the collars on that tailpipe because I knew that was going to happen. So I've just cut another slot in it, put another tack on it, and it's all lined back up again. It's all got really tight. So I had it tight to start off with, but now it's welded up and it's shrunk a bit more. It's even tighter again, so I've had to go around and make some more dints in it. It's getting to the stage now, it just needs doing, so have a bit of zoom out. I'm just going to whack it like a race bike, I think. We're getting to that point now where it just wants whacking like a race bike. I think I've got it on and it's neat, and everything that I'm going to whack's going to be on the backside. So I just need to make some clearance now. I just need to do something. Let's have a look. Let's say I just want it done, but it takes that long to get on and off and on and off and on and off. You're still seeing the same thing, aren't you? Where are we looking tight? So we're still looking tight there, and I've dinted that out twice. This, I've got that braze on it yesterday, but I've brazed it on the bottom now. Have I? Yeah, I brazed it on bottom, I brazed that on bottom. Just so when I'm taking it on and off, so when you're pulling that pipe out of this pipe, it's wanting to move that collar, and I just want to make sure that that collar's now where I want it to be. Because like I say, when you waggle that out, it waggles this collar up and down so you can get it out. Where I don't want that to happen, do I? I want that to be fixed so that I know it will come out. And then that's the same with the other collar. That one I had to, when you're waggling it to get it in and out, the collar's waggling about. And you don't want it to be a case of when this is fixed in place that when you can't get it out because it won't waggle. But I've managed to put it together. It went together. Like I say, they tipped back in and started touching the shocks, but I just cut another. I had a tack on there, and I've left a bit of room just to slant it over a bit more. It's left a big gap on back, but I think I can still fill it, and because it's on the back, it's not too bad. I just need to weld round that, take that off, weld round it, take it all back off, weld round everything. I think we're going to weld, braze all the way around them. I've TIG brazed that on, TIG braze that on, the bottom gas brazed on, TIG weld that with a mild steel rod. Have another look at possibly dinting these out. I need to have another look at the back of there just to make sure it's not touching. I don't think it is touching, but now it's just a case of like you can see the dint, you know where the dint is, and you know whether I need to go a bit more that way or that way with the dint just to create a bit more room. I'll probably do a bit of that, or whether it needs a bit off the top or a bit off the bottom. You can't see it because it's there, bang on opposite that, you know, on an angle on the back. And then I've got the same here, I've got that little dint underneath that one, I know where that white mark is. You put the dint in and you quite often you don't get it parallel with the casing, so when you look through it now you'll see a load of light at the front and no light at the back. Well, I then know that I just need to dint it out a bit more on the opposite side, and then I think everything else is fine. I've had to put a dint in this bit on the bottom here because that's now touching casing, but I don't know if it is touching casing because I can't really see up it to see if the dint's working. I put a little dint in the middle of that, like I said I was going to do, to clear this rib in the sump. And I don't know if that's working or not. We'll probably put a more of a dint in it to clear it. But then what I think it's doing then is the silencers are sitting down, and every time I put a dint in that, it'll just slide a bit more in, slide a bit more in, slide a bit more in. So we're going to need to do these brackets at some point to hold it out. And what I'm going to have to do is, so I can pull that down. I did pull it down before, and I rammed that packer in there. And then that gives it the clearance. I don't know if you can see up there. You can see that it's miles away now, can't you? You see there, like it's miles away from that casing, innit? So I need to do that. I need to ram that in there, that wooden packer, and then weld them brackets on, and then that'll hopefully secure that in place and stop it from flipping swinging in. Same with them. When that is sprung onto there. That's going to pull this top over, which will pull that bottom out. But at the moment, the weight of them silencers is pulling down. It's tipping that tailpipe in, pulling them collars out, one out the head, one off there. So that needs springing down. That drops down a little tiny bit every time. So that's why I've been ramming that underneath there. That one's springing up. So it's just a case of doing all that now. It's just a case of doing all that. And like I say, I'm in too far deep on this now. So we just need to get it done, get it bashed out. But at the same time, I need to think about it. So no, now we've got it at the, it's still perfect. I don't want to rush that now by just whacking some brackets on it and being like, right, that's done, and just mucking up the bracket stage of it, making a mess on the final little bits. This is the bit where you need to concentrate, because they're just like the little finishing details, aren't they? The brackets, the springs, and just make sure it all pulls in the right direction and every which way, to make it, if it pulls the wrong way, it's going to touch everywhere, and I need it to pull in the opposite way so it don't touch. Nightmare. Alright, I'm going to put you all back away again. I'm going to pull it all back off again. You run out of memory card last night when I was doing a bit of grinding and stuff. I'm going to pull it all back off. We'll have a look at it. We'll have a look at it when it's all in pieces. Right, I'll be back. Right guys, so I pulled it all back off again. Got a bit quicker this time. Just gonna, if I can find me gloves, take all these, put it all back on again. Basically, I'm just going to TIG braze these just to make them look nice. Then they won't need buffing off. I've had to buff this off a little bit because I had to put a big fillet on it. Probably do with a bit more buffing off. Basically what I did with that, I don't know if you've seen it on my video yesterday, there's a braze round it, it was really scruffy, and then what I've done then is you hold it in the right position and then just wash over it with a torch, and it just blends it in so it's all in, looks like a nice fillet. I know the push bike lads then, they go around that with like bits of sandpaper, bits of files in there to blend it perfectly, but once that's got a layer of paint on it, it'll look right. I think they're getting Cerakoted, aren't they? Not painted, but Cerakoted. This is going to be a bit tricky around here, trying to get underneath there on the back side of that with my TIG welder. It's going to be extremely tricky actually. I hate TIG welding for that reason. Like brazing, I could get round there easy peasy. But TIG welding is going to be a bit more difficult. And that is that's generally why I don't do stainless, because I like that last little bit there, just trying to get that to go across to the other side, and then I can get it. Right, well, our bit's done. That bit's done. It's hard as in I need to move my bar around. Let's move that across. Might mean you need some alterations there. I don't think you can see anything anyway, but I found that it's easier to TIG weld this way on. than TIG weld. I could go around the backside and TIG weld it, but we're going to try and do a nice hoop, get them all joined up nicely, these beads. News while I'm talking is Michael Dunlop's going to ride the Rotary Norton at the Classic TT, and Wiz Norton, who I made the exhaust pipe for, they've had to, it sounds like they've had to, I'm guessing TT organiser stuff, politics, they've had to drop Sean Anderson, who normally rides the bike, and take on Michael Dunlop, which it's understandable that the organisers are going to want Michael Dunlop to have a ride, aren't they? But yeah, a lot of the fans, well, a lot of the fans, I think the fans will be fair happy to see Michael Dunlop riding a bike, but the racing lads, because they obviously know what it feels like to spend a year training, having your bike ready, sorted, doing all them laps at other tracks, like Sean Anderson won at Tander G, whatever. He'd won there on the Rotary Norton, the first ever win that they've got last month, and now he's been dropped by team for Michael Dunlop. But it's good news for me exhaust pipes, and it's good news for everyone involved apart from Sean, I think. So yeah, the internet's been going off today, and I like to stay out of the politics, so there's no view for me. Like I say, it's good for everyone, it's good for me exhaust pipes, that's all I can say. In fact, I should sound more excited about it, shouldn't I? And I think that's been the dampener of it all, is probably not, the Wiz Norton lad should be more excited about it, but there's just been a bit of dodgy going ons. I say they've had to drop their regular rider, which then means that they can't. I think it's all TT stuff. Right, that's nice, nicey goldy, brazed all the way around, nice bead. I need to do that on this one now. The same thing, just go around it. I think I might set the welder, it's just too high. Yeah, we'll keep it on that. And I'll give you a bit of a better look. We're aiming for that collar. Let me try and find a focus button. I've got my gloves on, so it's a bit harder. There we go. Right, now I'm flipping tight in here. I might even have to move the bar. Let's move the bar back. We don't need it there. Right. Let's find you another zooming point. Right, I'm going to go around that. You'll be able to see it go gold as I go around it. So anyway, as I said, Wiz Norton, Sean Anderson, the internet's gone off today. I've had a bit of a watch of that, as I've been waiting for days. We've half known about it for a week now, because Sean Anderson said he were out of a ride, needed a bike. So everyone's known that something's going on, and there's been rumours that from people inside the circles have known that Michael Dunlop's going to probably ride it. And then I've just been waiting all week for Wiz Norton to say something, and I've been thinking to myself, I bet they're not going to say something. I bet they've been told that obviously the TT's going to release that first as part of their promotion. It's a really weird thing to do, because it's a couple of weeks before. It's not even a week, it's a week before now. So 3 days before. So they're not getting the full promotion they would have got out of it anyway, would they? If they had said that at Christmas, start of the year, you'd get a lot more visitors, a lot more people buying tickets. For that very reason. That Michael Dunlop's going to be riding a Norton, but and for anyone that don't know, that's just watching this, you're into vintage bikes or anything, Michael Dunlop, Robert Dunlop rode a Rotary Norton back in the day. So that's the pairing there, that's what they want to get going, the TT organisers. Because it just sells tickets, doesn't it? Sells stories. Only pipe slip round then a bit. And I managed to keep hold of it with my hand. I need to turn it again. Also need to get out of here soon. I've rode in on Tommy's electric bike, which means it's going to take me a bit longer to get home. My helmet. In the way. Ben's in the way of my helmet. So yeah, we'll wait and see. You probably won't get this video after the TT's finished. And Michael Dunlop will probably blow it up, but it's been running well, the rotary Norton, so you might get it to go, but I don't think it's not going to beat a ZX 750. I don't think. There's something dirty there I don't want to run. Might try it from that back side, just because that bend we're getting in me flipping face. Well, yeah, don't mind it, because that is literally the back side. Should have thought about that before I brazed it, because here we go, let's see what that looks like. So there was a bit of muck on there, I think. This bit stop start here. I probably will blend that in, you know, because that's on full show and it's still got this sharp edge here. The edge of the collar's a sharp edge, so I like to just get that to blend and dip in. I think the customer might do as well. I think the customer might want that to be smooth. The welds are nice, but I don't know whether we blend them all. We'll wait and see on that one, wait and see, we'll ask the customer. Right, so that's that collar brazed on, the other collar brazed on. I need to TIG weld. Trying these next. I'm going to need a smaller bar because they're 40mm collars, aren't they? And that's a 38mm bar, so it won't fit inside that one. It'll fit inside that because that's 41. It won't fit inside that. I need something smaller, something a bit slacker. Might fit on that end. Have I grind that in now? Nah, right, I'll come back to you.